Hey you! I'm so glad you're here today. I'm Jenny Prochko from Owls and Indigo, and I make videos about journaling, spirituality, mental health, and goal setting. Today it's time for my monthly plan with me. So let's go ahead and get into July's plan with me for my daily planner and spiritual bullet journal.
So first, to start off my bullet journal, I'm just writing in the month, and I'm using little moon symbols in there instead of the dates on the dates that have the moon phases in them. I felt like doing some more watercoloring this month, and I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to do at first, but I've really been excited about the daylilies that are going to be coming up in our area. I have some lilies in my garden, but I don't have daylilies. And back on the farm, I had little orange tiger lily daylilies that grew right outside my bedroom window, and it's actually one of my favorite flowers. So that is the theme for this month. It is a botanical theme, very simple watercolor tiger lilies. Once I finally figured out just how I wanted the tiger lilies to look with the watercolor brush that I happen to have, I was able to get this really light orange color to give this an almost faded look. Usually at the end of the month, I have a monthly review, but I moved it back to the front this month because I found that as soon as I made the monthly overview page, I never went back to it in my journal. So it was like I was only seeing it while I was filming this for you guys and creating the initial doodle and layout, and then I just never went back. So I decided to make everything full circle, and I ended up going all the way back to the beginning with my monthly review. I have these faux Dutch doors. I've got my goals. Did I accomplish my goals? And then my focus. And then did I keep the focus this month? And on the inside, I'll have a few more questions that I like to ask myself at the end of the month. And I usually like to do a cutout, so that's what I've done here. I've got a tiger lily cutout, and then I've been thinking a lot about the little line drawing doodle that I did of myself a couple of months back, so I wanted to re-include that this month in my gratitude log, which is also my letters to the universe spread. For this month, I decided to move my daily planner up to the beginning of my layouts. So here I'm just recreating a mini month view with the moon phases. And here I have a ton of faux Dutch doors. I have one for each week. You'll see that on the first side of the flap is my appointments, and then on the inside I have a section for my to-dos for each day, and then on the right hand side a column for notes. And on the back of each of these doors I have the weekend, because I usually actually do more on the weekend, and I needed a little bit more room to make sure I had enough room for all of the lists and things that I might need for the weekend. Like if we were going traveling, or if I decided to do some organizing or something that just required a more dense list for the weekend. It's usually for all of the personal things. And now we're moving on to the new moon beginnings spread. This spread is going to be huge, but it's actually pretty simple to do. Here I'm just outlining my goal planning pages. These are the same two that I've been using the past couple of months. The theme this month is Follow Your Intentions. I have on the new moon beginnings page to have, to do, and to be. And on the opposite page, I am, I can, I've done, and I will. And now I'm working on the inside of this layout. This is going to be a full moon. This is where I'll be doing the full moon review that I normally do mid-month. And now I'm just working on the end of the month lunar review for the balsamic moon, which is also the crescent moon. It's the last crescent moon of the month. Here I'm just writing the theme again, Follow Your Intentions. And on this page, I'll be writing out my challenges, goals, and how I'm going to do it. And a little reminder to make sure that these correspond with the goals that I set back at the beginning of the year. I noticed I was creating new goals for each month that had almost nothing to do with my original goals from January. So I wanted to change that. And on the inside of these Dutch doors, of these moon Dutch doors, I'll be writing out my full moon review. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that full moon review. It's where I check in to see if I'm on track with my goals, or if I need to stop and reorient, or if I need to let some of the goals just fall away because they weren't the right ones to be doing at this time. So make sure that you subscribe so you can see if I'm actually on track or not. And now I'm at the balsamic moon review that I do at the end of every month. I just check in with myself and see what worked, what didn't, and what I can improve for the next lunar cycle, or for any goals or intentions that I'm working on for this month. And now finally we're moving on to the inside of the moon Dutch doors. This is where I actually have my full lunar layout. It is the entire lunar month in a circle format, and each phase of the moon is going to be a feeling-based intention that I write out by the light of the moon phase or in the morning of each new moon phase. And to keep with the theme, I'm doodling smaller tiger lilies and some grass blades in between. And here I'm creating the moon phases and writing the dates that correspond with each one of them. If you want to see how I fill out these pages, follow me over on Instagram. I'm going to be doing little mini moon updates where I fill in each of the 8 sections on each moon phase. And don't forget to subscribe to me here. I'll be doing a new moon lunar goal setting video that will be up next, and you'll actually get to see me use this exact same layout and how I go through all of my pages to set my goals and to make sure that they're on track with the goals that I set back in January. At the end of the month, I like to check in with myself and see if the words that I chose for the year are still jiving with me. And below the Unravel Your Month section, I'll have the spiritual journaling question for the month that I am going to be sharing with you guys in just a second. I also like to reflect on what I learned for the month, how I challenged myself, and the very last thing that I asked myself is what am I most grateful for?
Before we get into the final flip through, let's talk about this month's spirituality journaling prompt. This month, I'd love for you to reflect on what does your spirituality practice look like? My spirituality practice varies from day to day. Sometimes it's as simple as just stopping and taking a moment to breathe in and smell the tea or the coffee that I have picked for the morning, and then lighting a candle. But sometimes I don't always get to light that candle. Sometimes it's literally just stopping really briefly to smell the coffee and to smell the tea. And sometimes that's all we have time for during the day, is just a quick moment to stop and smell the roses. So anytime you get a chance to do that, do it. It is totally worth it. Other days, my spirituality practice actually gets a little bit longer. I'll get up and I'll make my beverage of choice, and then I'll light a candle and sit down with my journals and go through and write down anything that's on my mind or anything that's bothering me or goals that I want to reflect on to see how far I've gotten or how far I am behind, and then give myself, a little jump start to get back on track with those goals. And then I move into the rest of my day. At least once a month, I have time to sit down and reflect with my journal for an extended period of time. I usually go to a coffee shop and take my journal with me and reflect on the past month and do the journaling prompts that I have at the end of each of my bullet journal plan with me videos. So if you'd like to see what I write about, make sure you check the videos up in the cards and down below. I'll be sure to leave a link. I do that, and sometimes I'll take my journal on a hike with me and I'll go sit out in the woods and reflect. Other times I actually have a spiritual practice where I'll sit down and meditate with some incense or a candle going, and I'll just either reflect on more things or just silently meditate and let the thoughts come and go. Other times I do a guided meditation. There's a ton of different things that I do when I sit down and meditate. It just depends on the day. So if you want my ideal spirituality routine, let me know in the comments down below. I can do like a 5-minute spirituality routine, a 15-minute spirituality routine, and then like an hour spirituality routine that would have like everything that I could do in it. There are also a couple of times during the year where we celebrate the holidays and we take time to say thank you to each other for being in each other's lives, and to spend time with our family, and to take care of our home, and to just reflect on the seasons, and to reconnect with the changing seasons and just be in nature. And sometimes we can't actually get out into nature, so we have to bring nature back in with us. And I like to buy seasonal bouquets and change out our paintings with seasonal paintings that we have, and the other photos and artwork all seasonally. I change them. I also really love to sit down with my husband and bring out our journals, and he has his own journal where he does his own goal setting, reflecting. We do this practice 8 times a year, and we reflect on the seasonal changes, or sometimes we'll cook together afterwards, and we normally have some sort of seasonal poem that we'll pick from one of our old poetry books, or we'll actually get outside if we can. We love being outdoors and we love hiking, and sometimes we take this spiritual practice actually outside. So if you would like to see what our spirituality practice looks like as a couple, let me know. So what does your spirituality practice look like? Is it super simple? Is it really long? Is it like mine, or is it totally different? I can't wait to hear your comments down below. You can catch me on Instagram at owlsindigo, which is where I am most, and over at owlsindigo.com. That's where I share weekly spirituality tips, journaling prompts, little tidbits about the moon, and how to move through the lunar phase to help you with your goal setting. I also talk about mental health and awareness and my story. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything, and make sure to click that bell. That way you can get a notification every time I upload a new video. I'm so grateful that you chose to spend your time here with me today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!